Control over BPD rage. The term quiet BPD is used because these individuals, compared to those with standard BPD, exhibit heightened control over their actions and expressions of anger/rage, enabling them to sustain their mask for an extended duration. Even in emotional relationship, they are aware, based on experience, that verbal or physical violence towards a partner and others is unacceptable and often counterproductive, not only in public but also privately. They understand that men generally respond better to women's tears than to yelling and insults. Therefore, they adapt their manipulation techniques accordingly. Due to all these factors, quiet BPD (qbpd) is challenging to detect. They successfully conceal one of the fundamental signs of BPD from their partners: uncontrolled BPD rage/anger. These episodes of yelling, screaming, or verbal violence are effectively hidden from the partner for a long time and entirely concealed from friends and acquaintances. Usually, only the family is aware, but they rarely warn the victim, as they hide the family shame and secrets. However, partners may notice early on that these individuals are prone to anxiety or depressive episodes, often right after the idealization phase ends. They may seemingly sincerely share this with their partner. This is a manipulation and a test. Many people with quiet BPD not only hide the seriousness of their condition at the beginning, even if they're unaware of the correct diagnosis, they hide the seriousness of symptoms, but they also lie to partner, claiming they are psychologically and mentally stable individuals. A person with BPD and therefore with qbpd also avoids investing time in a partner who might leave due to the fear of being with someone anxious, depressive, or mentally unstable. The initial deception, claiming she doesn't have such problems, is justified by asserting she is ashamed and embarrassed about her mental state, sharing this secret with no one before, only with him. This is another manipulation. Almost every BPD partner repeats tactics that have proven successful in previous relationships. If the partner remains, as the relationship unfolds, they will gradually uncover the burden of psychological issues, depressive episodes, anxiety, frequent mood swings, sleep problems, etc. It's at this point that the partner discovers, for the first time, that their significant other has consulted a psychiatrist and is using regularly on their hand antidepressants. Many of these individuals either lack a proper diagnosis or receive an incorrect diagnosis, usually something benign, due to their adept manipulation of psychiatrists, who often lack interest or exhibit professional incompetence. In the initial phase of the relationship, the idealization phase, abuse is entirely absent. Even as the relationship progresses, the abuse remains subtle and covert, making it challenging to convey to others what you are going through because the abuse is never direct. During this period, which can extend up to 2 to 3 years, qbpd exhibits traits akin to Millen's discouraged BPD. Cycles of passive aggressiveness, violation of personal boundaries, silent treatment, ignoring, not responding, and sarcastic comments are followed by periods of gaslighting, aimed at making you believe you misinterpreted everything. This is often coupled with declarations of love, caring, a deep apology for behavior, followed by a phase of tenderness and intimacy, only to repeat the cycle of abuse. The external environment remains entirely unaware of these dynamics, and even if a partner attempts to explain to someone, it frequently appears confusing and unconvincing. Therefore, it is inaccurate to assert that anger is internalized in this type, a misconception perpetuated by many texts. Instead, it is concealed and manifested in the form of less visible, passive-aggressive methods of psychological violence and emotional abuse. These tactics are rooted in a passive-aggressive approach, including silent treatments, triangulation, ignoring, avoiding the partner, fake breakups, and sarcastic remarks. Standard BPD techniques such as projection, triangulation, manipulation, lying, and gaslighting are consistently present. This primarily pertains to the partner. However, individuals with quiet BPD can externalize their anger towards someone else, releasing it through actions like engaging in a serious argument or physical confrontation with a passerby, friend, colleague, or family member. BPD families adeptly pretending that nothing untoward occurred. Yelling, screaming, and insulting the partner are either absent or rare in the initial stages of the relationship, surfacing only after several years. Despite the concealed nature of BPD rage, BPD anger/rage, it undeniably exists, and these individuals often seethe with it. When the rage starts to manifest outwardly, the partner's reaction is tested through explosive episodes directed at others first and later directed at the partner. In the later stages of the relationship, usually after a few years, often 5 or more, the dynamics increasingly resemble those of a person with classic BPD. The partner, over time, ceases to respond to passive-aggressive tactics, prompting a shift towards openly aggressive behaviors, including verbal violence, yelling, and, in some cases, physical aggression. The true nature of these individuals may surface earlier if the partner is bound to them through marriage or the presence of a child. Concealed methods such as silent treatments, triangulation, passive aggressiveness, lying, manipulation, and gaslighting remain their preferred tools for fulfilling their desires. Open aggression only surfaces when met with resistance. Following such instances, it's important to note that these individuals persist in donning the mask of a depressed, withdrawn, and vulnerable person in the presence of their partner or children, despite revealing their true, witch-like demeanor the previous day, never acknowledging their meltdowns and acting as if nothing happened. This phenomenon, termed splicing, involves editing out their meltdowns and never discussing them, acting as if nothing happened. As they still fall within the BPD spectrum, these individuals remain high conflict. Immediately after the conclusion of the idealization phase, you may find yourself navigating delicate situations akin to walking on eggshells. Consequently, conflicts become a regular occurrence within a few months, invariably followed by what seems to be a sincere apology for their behavior. However, these apologies consistently take the form of "yes, but" sentences, subtly suggesting that their actions were in response to something you did, effectively undermining the apology given moments earlier. Although not only does the behavior never change for the better, it continually worsens. Most partners realize this pattern only after several years. The reason is that these individuals are extremely cautious. As soon as they feel they have gone too far or the partner becomes suspicious or angry, they enter damage control mode and shower the partner with sex and attention. Quarrels become more frequent as cracks appear in the mask, and when it starts to crumble, a few years into the relationship, the partner can witness the partner completely out of control in a standard BPD episode. Screaming, yelling, verbal and psychological, or physical violence completely surface. This is when Millen's petulant BPD type becomes dominant. These episodes will occur earlier if the partner tries to leave a heated argument, fear of abandonment, if they confront the partner, establish clear personal boundaries, see through and do not allow further manipulation/double standards, or demand her responsibility for broken promises/lying. At that moment, classic BPD episodes of losing control, meltdowns, occur, yelling, insulting, verbal violence, and often physical attacks. In general, categorically seeking any responsibility or demanding that an agreement be fulfilled is the fastest way to break up with a BPD person. If you attempt to end the relationship, suicide threats will follow. While her abuse has persisted for a long time without overt yelling, screaming, or open verbal violence, the concealed BPD rage in a person with quiet BPD often inflicts much more significant harm on the partner than someone with standard BPD. Given that these relationships are often long-term, the psychological and emotional consequences and scars are profound. The partner often becomes aware of the toxicity of the relationship only after it ends, when the damage is already done. This realization is amplified by cognitive dissonance, as they come to terms with the shocking reality of what the person they loved was truly capable of. The partner uncovers a web of lies, manipulations, rejections, abandonments, deceit, betrayals, and triangulation with acquaintances, friends, colleagues. Where the BPD partner tarnished the partner's reputation behind their back or engaged in emotional or romantic affairs. Then, the partner realizes that the narrative of her as the victim and him as her savior was reserved only for him. For everyone else, she was a victim of his inertia, possessiveness, control, and suffocation. Recovery from these relationships often takes 12 to 18 months, not just due to emotional and psychological scars, but also unraveling cognitive dissonance and accepting that the person you spent years with, whom you believed you knew intimately, does not exist. It was a skillfully played role, crafted solely for you. Comfort can be found in the fact that, at least from this perspective, she remained faithful. For everyone else, a different mask was worn, and another role was played, tailored exclusively for them. Your support is highly appreciated, so please consider sharing and subscribing. If you found the text useful, kindly think about becoming a paid member on Patreon. Till next time.